Good afternoon, crafters. We are live. My name is Hannah Roxbury and I am here for Carnation Crafts this afternoon. And this afternoon, we've got a really exciting afternoon ahead. We're actually bringing you a special Valentine's show here on Facebook. I can see lots and lots of people joining us already. Let's just have a little scroll back through the comments. We've got June, we've got Joyce, Viv, Gary's here as well. Jacqueline's here from a windy Shropshire. Yeah, the wind has been absolutely crazy. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. I'm actually just moving my heater over because it's a bit chilly today. Teresa's here. Susan as well. Regina from, oh goodness me, I hope I'm not going to say this, Kennesaw. I hope that's right. Sorry, Regina, if it's not in Georgia. Shelley's joining us from Weston-super-Mare. Suzanne from a cold Bognor Regis. Yeah, it has been cold. Still sunny, but very, very cold. Darlene says, I'm here at the bus station watching a live. Oh, that's really good. Thank you for joining us. Anyone that is joining us and perhaps can't watch it all, don't ever worry, because we do always upload our videos afterwards to our YouTube channel and also our Facebook page as well. This afternoon, we're bringing you a Facebook show dedicated to the new special edition Valentine's vignettes, which launched today on our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk. But I have to say this, I have to make this super, super clear. They are today's deal of the day. So for today only, for 24 hours, they are available at a special discounted price. So if you're looking to get these, now's the time to do it. They are from £15 down to £5, but that's today's deal of the day. If you're looking for the deal of the day, it's super easy to find. Just head to our website. There will be a banner in pink across every single page, which will take you to the deal of the day. And there's also a tab within the navigation bar as well, which says deal of the day, and it will take you to the whole collection of the vignettes. The vignettes are also available singly. We've been putting up links to those in all the comments for the social media as well. Lots and lots of people joining us. Thank you, guys. That's really, really kind. Viv's here. She says, afternoon, Hannah, looking forward to this demo. Yeah, me too. We're actually doing 2 cards because I wanted to tick kind of all the boxes from something nice and pared back to something a little bit more extravagant. So hopefully it will tick those boxes for you guys at home. If you've got any questions as we go through today's demonstration, by all means, type them up and I will do my very, very best to answer them. Ah, there we go. Mark says, hello, Miss Hannah from the warehouse, ready to pick and pack any orders. That's fantastic. Thank you, Team Carnation. I have to say, I know you guys are more than aware on the Carnation Crafters group on Facebook. Thank you for sending all your thank yous to the team. We do relay those thank yous over to the warehouse team, and they do work so incredibly hard to pick and pack your orders as quickly as possible and to get them out to you, because they know us crafters, we like things quickly. We like to be working with our goodies as soon as we've ordered them. Tanya says, good afternoon, my sweet lady. So looking forward to these die cuts as I'm making Valentine's card with my residents this weekend. What a lovely thing to do. Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually, Tanya. Just to mention that the angel policy, that was a bit of a mouthful. I've not had a problem with that one before. For Carnation Crafts does mean you are welcome to use them in things like kits and things like that. As long as you've cut the artwork out using our dies, you're welcome to use them as you wish. Lots and lots and lots. Oh my goodness, Humberta. Wow. She says, hello, Hannah. The 2 feet of snow are melting fast now the rain's coming down, which will soon freeze and ice everything. Oh my goodness. Stay safe, Humberta. Having so much fun. Watching you will be the highlight of the day. That's so kind. Thank you. Humberta's been a long time supporter of the Facebook Lives and shows, so thank you for that. Pam from the DT says she's in the middle of cutting hers out. Stunning colours. They are, aren't they? Shall we have a little look at them? Now, we've given it enough time for everyone to join us. What we do with our special edition vignettes is revisit previously released die sets and recolour those vignettes, that coloured artwork, for a specific theme. So what we've done in this occasion, as the name would suggest, is brought you a collection of Valentine's inspired ones. So the first die set that we have recoloured for you is Off to the Beach. This is our happy little couple. They are from Water's Edge. So here on the packaging you can see the original colourway, the lady with her lovely brunette hair and pink dress, and the chappie in his blue shirt as well. Let me just bring into shot the new colourway for the Valentine's inspired. Now, it is worth noting we do have different ethnicities and different hair colours within the download as well, so you can really make your Valentine's cards specific to your recipients. But you'll notice we've got this wonderful sort of bright, vibrant, rich red that you'd come to expect from your Valentine's Day creations, and then this softer sort of pink tone through as well. So that's our first die set. That's Off to the Beach from Water's Edge. Next one that's had the new Valentine's Day treatment is Time Tested. This is our older couple from Summer Radiance, Arm in Arm. I just love this. I think it's such a beautiful, beautiful die set. The Summer Radiance colourways, sort of yellows, purples, lilacs. For the Valentines, we've again gone with that sort of blush pink, that lovely rich pink, and of course again this lovely, lovely bright Valentine's rich red. Now again, as you'll notice, we've got different ethnicities. Just check the downloads, because there's lots and lots of options within the Valentines there as well. I'm just gonna have a quick check back, make sure I'm not missing any questions. Carnation have just popped a link up. Thank you, Carnation. A link to the deal of the day. So head on to that if you're looking for the vignettes there. Let's have a look. I'm just checking to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Oh, Michelle says it's been snowing here very high up in West Yorkshire. Oh my goodness, yeah, I think it might make its way down to us. It feels cold enough like it might. June says, I certainly, it is a lovely rich red colour, so beautiful. Yeah, it's nice. Do you know what? It's so lovely to revisit older die sets, previously released die sets, because you can see when we start demonstrating, all these things mix and match together so wonderfully, and it gives your older sets a new lease of life. So one of the things we were asked for over and over and over again was a true red for the roses within the collection. So we've selected a couple of roses. The first off being the rose from our very first collection. This is Before the Rainbow, and you'll notice it's almost like a golden tone in the original colourway. How about this for Valentine's? Look at that rich, vibrant red, the shine on the petals, the highlights and things like that. If I hold it around that way, it's probably be better. Isn't that gorgeous? So you get this full bloom of that particular rose, and then you've got all the decoupage layers, including the little bird and the leaves in there. It's just so, so beautiful. Transforms it. I mean, it looks like a totally different die set, doesn't it? With all that lovely bright colour work. Next up, if you're looking for creating bouquets, creating arrangements and things like that, Gypsophilia was from the, let me just think, Full of Love collection, one of our earlier collections as well. And whereby the original colourway has this sort of nice sort of brown stem with the white sort of baby's breath to the top. In the artwork, the new artwork we've got, I've got picked up two there, I need that one for another one. We have got this lovely sort of soft golden tone to the stems, and then a slight blush pink to the petals and the blossoms there as well, which is so pretty. Next up, we have, I apologise, I couldn't locate my die set for this one, but this is the recoloured artwork for the Dearest Friend. Again, really, really lovely little die set here. You've got your quill, a little jewel-like ink pot here, and then this lovely banner that you can add your sentiments to. Perhaps you want to cut out Dearest Friend from the die set itself. I love the fact that the feather and the quill itself has got little hearts all the way up it, but again it's featuring that gorgeous, gorgeous, bright, vibrant red we're seeing throughout this collection. Next up, let me have a look, what have we got? Oh, I love this one, this is so cute. This is our Lovebirds, and they originally came to your screens, I think about 2 years ago, in the Gift of Giving die collection. And I love the sentiment behind this. Of course, we've got the design at the bottom here, happy anniversary, but the heart that the little birds make by sort of nodding their heads together and having their tails almost entwined, I think that's so, so pretty. You do get your mats and layers with this, but let's just take a look at the recoloured artwork because it's just sublime. There we have Our beautiful lovebirds all snuggled up on their branch. Again, beautiful plumage, all fluffy little feathers there. And just take a look at the little hearts on their tummies. It's just so cute, isn't it? So this sort of thing. Yes, we are saying these are your Valentine's vignettes, but don't limit yourself. You don't have to use these just for Valentine's. These would be perfect for weddings, absolutely perfect for anniversaries or engagements as well. Really pretty. The next collection features another one of our roses. So we've taken the rose from the MIDI flowers, the original MIDI flowers, launched alongside especially for you. So we've got the little rose up here, which has been recoloured just as so. So you've got the option of a slightly larger rose, the Before the Rainbow one, or the MIDI size one from the MIDI arrangements, again in that true Valentine's inspired rich red colour. The next die set has an absolutely whole host of new vignettes with it. This is, oh my goodness, it's so big I'm knocking the camera as well. Fine finishes. So this is your little tuck-ins, your little bows, your little sprigs, your little flowers, your little details, your little cotton here. Gorgeous, gorgeous design. This die set launched alongside Perfectly Peaceful, not last December, the December before. And as you would expect, every single item within this has been recoloured. So this is going to be great for adding detailing to your bouquet. So let's just have a little run through of the coloured artwork for that one. So those blossoms there, lovely ivory colours, lovely blush pink colours like so. The sort of quill palm sort of feather effect ones, similar to the Gypsophilia you saw earlier. This one has got that lovely golden hue to it. Same with the leaves and the little buds there, again golden, and then this rich green to match in with the leaves from the new rose colourways. That bow, isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it so striking? This lovely, lovely bright red, and then the cotton recoloured with the sort of pink blush colour as well. And again, the final page there with the palms, just in those same green and golden tones as well, which is gorgeous. And then what's next? Oh, something from a really recent collection. So we've got the Vintage Letter. You may have seen this launched as part of our takeover at the start of January. This was from the Delivered in Style collection. So the letter itself, the original colourway, you've got this sort of, as you might expect, a vintage kind of paper finish to it. There is the recoloured version. So again, that lovely pink and then these golden tones through the ribbons as well. Really, really pretty. Great for those little love letter inspired designs. Lovely for wedding invites as well. But again, just accentuates your craft and gives you more options for your designs on this. And is this our final one? Yeah, it is. Okay, so our final colourway that has been updated. Again, wax flowers. Something so great, something so lovely in the snippability on these. The original colourway had them with little pink buds. This colourway gives them more of an ivory finish as well. So it's going to work hand in hand with the Gypsophilia and of course your roses to build up design. Now, it's well worth mentioning all of these vignettes have been printed on our Pro printing paper. Because I work with the mirrored vignettes, so you get the double there, we work on 120 GSM because when we fold it to cut, it obviously doubles the weight. That is available from our website. Let's just have a little scroll back, make sure I'm not missing any questions. I know the team are on hand answering things as well, so thank you very much. Sue says, hi Hannah, great to see a red rose. Lots and lots of love for the rich red colour. June says here, I certainly love it. It's a rich red colour, so beautiful. Let's have a look. Susan says, will I be able to use the USBs as I have some of these? So these particular vignettes have been sized to match the dies. They've not been specifically designed to match in with the SVG files, but if you are a fay with using your scan and cut, for example, you can absolutely use these. You would just need to group and then resize your SVG files before you could then use them alongside these vignettes. June says, my fond memory set arrived yesterday. My goodness, it is gorgeous. Yeah, a beautiful collection we launched last week. June. Oh, sorry, this week. Goodness me, time's getting away from me. Sheila says, just ordered that rose. Looking forward to doing it in red. So love Carnation Crafts. Thank you, Sheila. Let's have a look. These are so elegant. Jacqueline says, question please, love the free download with the new insert pages. Would it be possible to have them in smaller sections, as currently they're approximately 192 pages long and on occasions they've not saved on my computer? Jacqueline, you'd need to pop your query across to customer service at carnationcrafts.co.uk. There are different ways of opening them, and you obviously don't have to print all the pages at once. You can select which ones you wish to work with. Jackie says, this is my first time. Do you order from the shop or on Create and Craft? So Jackie, if you're looking for our deal of the day or any of the vignettes and things like that, so the coloured artwork we've been showing you, these are all available from our website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. Sheila says, what's the name of just the owls in the heart? They're not owls, they're lovebirds, Sheila. They're called lovebirds. I think that's the one you're referring to. I will be using that in the demonstration coming up. Let's have a look. No, I think I've covered everything there. There's a couple of questions regarding when things were coming back into stock. If you sign up to anything that is out of stock, go to the product pages, sign up on our website on the Get Alert. You'll receive a notification as to when these become available. Okay. Trace says, can we buy that rich red imperfect papers? Tracy, we are just about to answer those queries, so hold on tight. I'll take you through all those within this demonstration. So as I mentioned, what we're going to be doing is a combination of two different styles of card. One is an 8x6 is where we're going to be starting, and I'm going to use just a few of the vignettes because we're going to go for a more pared back design, and then we're going to be moving on to a little heart easel card, and we'll be introducing some more of the designs from the vignettes on there as well. So we're working on an 8x6 card blank, and just take a look at this. So this beautiful red has been taken from the same colour as the roses, as the bows, as these things that you've seen. These papers are included within your download, so you can get the perfect papers in download form to complement your Valentine special vignettes. So I'm going to create a little matte layer here for this coloured paper. This too has been printed on our Pro printing paper, but because I'm working on a background on a matte layer, I've used a heavier weight paper. I think this one was 170, just to give it a little bit more shape and form as we add it to our card blank. So we're just lining up using our finger lift tape. We folded the finger lift tape over the edges, or the carrier sheet should I say, over the edges of the matte layer there, like so, just peeling away the excess. And isn't that such a striking colour? It's so lovely, just like so. Now obviously, if I want to start building our vignettes and things over the top, we don't want to lose the look, we don't want to lose the design, we still want to keep that colour, but because we're working with something a little bit more pared back, you can knock that colour back by introducing another layer, this time of perfect smooth cardstock, mounted on some 1mm foam tape, and this is just simply designed to give a little bit of lift. So this is going to be our foreground, if you like, of our mats and layers, taking the excess of the carrier sheet over the edge to create our little tabs that we can pull. Those central pieces of foam are just there to lift the centre of the card. We don't need to worry about taking the edges off of those, okay? So again, we're just going to align. I've left a slightly larger matte and layer border than what I would normally when I'm cutting my matte and layers, but I just wanted that beautiful pop of the red just around the outside. And look how now it's framing that look. Rather than being over the top, it is just there highlighting and framing that centre. Let's then have a look at composition. So we want our rose to feature front and centre to our design. Now a little design tip that we often say is, rather than trying to get things centrally to your card, it is far easier to purposefully have them off to one side. That way it looks more intentional. If you're trying to put it in the center and get it wrong, it's obvious, it's a little bit jarring on the eye. By placing it off to one side, you're giving a little bit more space around the design, and it just sits beautifully. Now, before we pop anything down onto our card, we want to give our vignettes a shaping. So what we're going to do is turn the vignette over, and using a combination of our ball tools and our dense foam mat, we're gonna give that a little bit of life. So we're just moving our ball tool in a circular motion over any areas that we want to sort of sculpt out. Same with the leaves, but notice how we're sort of switching between sizes of our ball tool to give you areas of even more detail. Okay, things like the leaves and things we need the little ball tool on just to sculpt and shape. Similarly, when we flick it back over, we can then just twist and turn, sort of pull a couple of those leaves up to give them a more lifelike quality. Next up, let's choose what should we put on next. Let's have a think. I've chosen a sentiment cut from the same backing colour as the matten layer there, just so everything coordinates beautifully. And I kind of want this as a little aside. I don't want it detracting from that beautiful rose. So we're going to position this down off to one side of the card. I'm going to stick it flat so it's not sort of protruding from the card itself. And to do that, I'm going to use my everyday glue, a little bit of everyday glue, and also a glue applicator. I can see Carnation Crafts are busily answering all your questions. Thank you, team, for helping me out with that. That's really kind. So here, because we're using a nice sort of detailed little die cut, the With Love sentiment, if you're wondering where I got this one from, this is actually from the original square frame die set that we did, one of our first collections. And I'm just using our glue applicators to go in and add a little bit of glue along the back. Tweezers there, just to help me position, and then just gently tap that into place. So the reason we use a glue applicator is just to get into all those little fine applicators areas within the back of the cut itself. And it does mean you're not going to get any glue sort of squidging over the edges. It just gives you much more precision when you're coming in to add your layers. With Love, I'm going to have the width just slightly over, so you kind of get that idea that it's red from one side to the other, using the tweezers to position, and you've got a little sentiment down to the bottom. I mean, that in its own right would be perfect for a Valentine's card, wouldn't it? Really, really lovely design. But to give it a little bit of detailing, here, what we've done is taken the Gypsophilia, cut it from the same colour card, the same perfect smooth cardstock as in the background, and then we peel. Vera says, where can I find the download for the red cardstock, please? I just had a look on the Valentine's special collection and it isn't there. Oh, I'm really sorry, Vera. It should be. Hopefully the team will be able to update that for you. Okay. Rather than sticking at this or having cut this and then try and glue it all, because what I want is almost like a faux emboss effect, we're layering white on white. So what I've done before cutting, I've layered this cardstock with adhesive sheet on the background. Okay, so on the back of my card, I've stuck adhesive sheet. What I use is one from Wild Spider. And then here, I'm just going to butt that up against one side of the cardstock and then just smooth that into place. Okay, so it gives you this faux embossed look rather than looking like a die cut or anything like that. It then sticks every little bit down. I'm just burnishing that down with my fingertips like so, and we're just smoothing that away. Gary says, what collection does the wax flower come from? Gary, the wax flower comes from the Heart collection. Okay, and there, do you see how by adding that just detailing behind the rose, it's giving you just ever such a slight shadow. It's breaking up that white space, but it's not detracting from the rose at all. What we can also do is go in with a few of the little sprigs from the Gypsophilia, so in its new Valentine's colourway. What I'm doing there is just removing the little cutaway areas from in between the stalks, and you can almost build like a little bouquet, just give a little bit of detailing behind. I've got the stalks coming down and meeting at a point here, just giving you that point of difference in the background. So let's go in and stick our Gypsophilia down. Using that kind of combination between the white on white and then introducing a nice light coloured vignette on top really does give you this really interesting quality to your card designs. I'm using everyday glue just to line that up and stick that down because I don't want any bulk at this stage. It's just there for placement. Laying my rose over the top, I'm just going to check where else I would like a few little sprigs of the coloured artwork for the design, and I think just a few maybe around the top here of our rose. Remember, whenever it comes to the designs, you're not limited just by using them as intended. You can absolutely go in with your scissors and trim away as well. Okay, let's just check for placement. I want to be able to hide those stalks that I've cut away just behind the rose like so. And I think that's going to be enough for this card. I think that's really, really pretty. So once we're happy with placement, again, going in with our everyday glue, just tapping the glue into areas using our glue applicator, just like so. And then just tucking that behind, layering that over the white, burnishing that down so we've got a flat adhesion, and that kind of almost gives you even more prominence to the rose. Just a few little things, just added detail, juxtaposition of the white and then the vignette as well, and then the shaping all coming from that rose. To accentuate that shaping, we're going to go in with a little bit of our Pin Flare glue gel. This is 3-dimensional glue gel. So where we've shaped out the head of the rose and also the little buds here, it then adds in detail. It can add in a bit of 3-dimension to those areas. Just aligning the rose over the Gypsophilia like so. Notice how we haven't bothered trying to stick down every single individual leaf or anything like that. It just needs areas of being stuck. And I am going to take a little bit of everyday glue and just add that to the bottom of the stalk with my glue applicator, smoothing that out to keep that alignment along the bottom, just like so. Okay, I think that's all we're going to need for this card. I think that's so pretty, so pared back, you know, perhaps more suitable for the man in your life, maybe if you're sending a little Valentine's card. But it just goes to show, by using a few vignettes, emphasis on the colour of the rose there, it's just so gorgeous, really pretty. I will take photographs of the cards we're making today and upload them, but that's going to be the first demonstration using the MIDI flower of the rose from the MIDI arrangement florals and the Gypsophilia with that new colourway, that new really lovely design for the Valentine's vignettes. Tanya says, my lovely, is it okay if I copy this one for my dudes? Not sure if we're ready for the glue gel just yet, as it could end up in disaster. Absolutely. And do you know what, Tanya, that is something well worth noting. Anything you see demonstrated, be it from the design team samples on the shows right through to the Facebook Lives we do, you're more than welcome to copy exactly. We're here for inspiration, and you are more than welcome to take those and do with them as you wish. Yes, probably if you're not sure about using your Pin Flare glue gel, you could just use your little foam pads if you find that might be a little bit safer for you. Okay, so that's our first card, using our new special edition of vignettes as today's deal of the day. Now what I wanted to do is bring you another design. Where am I looking for? But I wanted to go all out. I wanted to go really key when it comes to your Valentine. So I thought, what better die set to include than the heart frame. Okay, so this is the large version. It's not the petite heart, it's the full nice size big version of that. I'm just looking around for a ruler. I have a ruler, which is surprising in its own right. To give you the measurements for our heart frame, it measures at its widest point on the largest mat and layer just over 6¼ inches, and then at its longest, again being a heart, it's going to be about the same, 6¼ as well. So you've got your mats and layers in here, you've got your filigree in here, you've got your detailings in here. The product code for your heart frame, if you are looking to invest in something like this that you're going to come back to time and time again for your weddings, for your anniversaries, for your with love cards, is your code 210133. And I thought, you know what, this is going to be the perfect backdrop for your Valentine's makes. So what we're going to do is an easel card with this one. So I'm going to grab my layers. And as sort of alluded to, our first card was nice and pared back. This one is going to be a little bit more extravagant. I'm going to move, oh, I've got extra vignettes in there as well. Move the sections away just for now so we can begin building our card. So I've done several demonstrations on how to do an easel card, but I'm going to take it from the beginning again. We got lots and lots of queries coming in to group. I would guess because we've got Valentine's in mind, but we'll get on with this and show you how we can construct it. So I have demonstrated this before, but I think it's always nice to revisit these things as well. So to create an easel, what we're going to do is cut the largest die set from the heart. I mean, of course, if you're creating an easel in another shape, it would be exactly the same process. The largest die within that. And we're going to cut it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is all cut from 350 perfect smooth cardstock, because obviously we're working on a card base. We want construction, we want detailing on this. For your middle layer, your base stays the same, your top stays the same. The middle layer is going to become your mechanism, if you like, for your design. So what we've done is we've scored down from the top and we've scored halfway across. Okay, so when we put everything together, oh, my fingernails, I can't pick anything up. When we put everything together, the 2 top bits here are going to stick to the base. That mechanism is going to fold up to create your easel, and the top of the card sticks to your base for that pop-up effect. Okay, really simple and a really lovely way of putting a card together. With that in mind, what we want to do is start building again our mats and layers on this. So again, hopefully we've got an upload ready for the cardstock, but here again we've used a green cardstock which has been chosen to match in with the colorways of the leaves on the roses, on the wax flowers, on sort of the ones from the lovebirds and things like that. It's just a really pretty, almost like a sage green. It's quite a grown-up green color, and it works in beautiful contrast against the reds that we've got in this collection as well. So again, just using our finger lift tape because we're working on the inside of the card. We want something nice and flat. We're going in and peeling away the carrier sheet for the tape and then sticking that layer down. Whenever you're constructing an easel, do construct it in this way, because when you come to add the hinge to the top, obviously you'll be covering that area, so then it becomes difficult to try and add in the mats and layers. You can trim them down and add them that way, but sometimes you get a neater finish, especially on something like this where you've got 2 edges you need to stick down, just like so. So here, a little bit of newsreader shuffle to get those layers in place. Make sure they're nice and aligned. Remember, we're working on the white cardstock, our perfect smooth, which is 350 GSM. We've used a scoring board just to score down about, I don't know, 1/4 inch from the top, and then red liner tape to stick that all together. So construction tape, nice heavy weight tape that's going to be nice and sticky, super sticky, and keep its form. So great if you want to post things like this as well. So both sides stuck down. Along the middle, as we've mentioned, we have scored to create our pop-up effect. And here we've added the red liner tape just underneath that central score line as well. To the top, we're going to add in the other cardstock like so. And then holding everything in place, once you've aligned it all, you've got all your little bobbles lined up, we're going to go in with our pokey tool and remove the tape like so. Sam says, will we have to download the artwork again, Hannah? I would assume so. If they're going to upload it to the same file, hopefully they're watching Carnation Crafts will be able to answer that for you. But if they do amend the file, then yes, you will need to download it again. You can do so from the My Accounts section of the website. Vera says, what are the heart frames you've used on the card with the lovebird straight edge heart, please? Vera, I'm not sure. The lovebirds come with the matten layer, so it might be that you're referring to. We do have a straight edge heart nested die as well. I don't think I've got it to hand, and it's just called Hearts. It could be that you're referring to. Have a little check on the website. If you type in Hearts, the nested dies will come up as well, and it's a pack, as you would imagine, of nested dies in heart shape, so it could well be that, possibly. So there, we've stuck down all of our layers. Now what you can do, if you're finding anything's lifting or anything like that, you can go in with a bone folder and just burnish anywhere down where you've added the red liner tape to get a nice strong connection between the layers like so. So once you've constructed, you'll find your mechanism then allows your little heart stand fully to stand up, which I think is really, really sweet, and it gives you a really lovely prominence to the front of the card. We're going to repeat those same layers in those lovely greens from the Valentine's card stock. Again, just using our finger lift tape, because we're going to add a nice amount of layering, a nice amount of decoupage on this as well. And just folding the carrier sheet of the tape. Red liner tape gets everywhere. Oh dear, it's just attacking me. Just folding that all along the edges like so, to give us a little bit of a tab that we can then peel away. And by doing this process, it means we can sit and we can align. We can take our time to align our layers. I'm just going to fold those back so I can see the edge of the card up here. And just getting those into place like so, holding and then peeling away. Obviously, if you're at home, it's so far much easier to sit and then sort of lean over your card to double check your placement as well. Obviously, I can't do that because I've got the camera above, so I don't want to keep getting my head into shot. But just take your time to align these things. And the next layer, again, another matten layer in that green, sage green cardstock. Again, using our finger lift tape just to stick these all down. Just taking the carrier sheet, folding the tabs over, and then aligning. I love Carnation dies for the really elegant edge that they give you around mats and layers. It frames things so beautifully. Just having that little pop of colour all the way around just really, really highlights the centre of your designs beautifully. Like so. So again, we mentioned it on the first card we created using that design whereby you've got all that red in the background and then using your white as your negative space. It's a similar way where we introduce filigree, it knocks that colour back as well. So your filigree layer, oh, I just love it. Look how it really pops with that colour behind it. It almost gives it a lovely vintage look, a very heritage look to this design. So this particular layer has been cut from our, I think it's 220, 240 Perfect Smooth, so the sort of middle size and middle weight, if you like, for the Perfect Smooth cardstock. So same colour as the base weight that we're using. And this time around, rather than again trying to stick all this filigree and things like that, we're going to have that free from the card, so it gives a little bit of movement. We've just included a little bit of foam tape, 1mm foam tape to the centre that we can then align, just holding that point down and smoothing to place. You see how then you get this wonderful drop shadow all the way around the card edge. Jacqueline says, absolutely love how Carnation Crafts team listens to our requests and the customer service is second to none. Well done, everyone. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the lovely feedback there. I'm really glad that you are happy with all the things that Carnation do. They are a fantastic team. Shelley says, did you say the rose was from the Delivered in Style collection? No, the roses, we've got 2 roses within this artwork. The one that I used on the first card here is from the MIDI flowers, the original MIDI flowers, MIDI arrangement florals that launched back with the Especially For You collection. So that's set 1, the original set of the MIDI florals, not the one that just launched with the Delivered in Style collection. And then the other rose, the larger rose, is from our very first collection, which was the Before the Rainbow collection. Okay, so our easel card is now a wonderful blank space into which we can start designing our beautiful vignettes. So let me just grab some. I've got a whole host of them cut in front of me because I thought it was really, really fun, vibrant. I just kept cutting them because I thought this is so, so lovely. They're going to be so wonderful for special anniversaries, special events, and yeah, anniversaries, birthdays, with love cards, all sorts of reasons to be, you know, using these vignettes, not just for your Valentine's cards, but of course we do have the Valentine's holiday coming up imminently. So I'm just going to place a whole host of the vignettes cut from the special edition Valentine's vignettes out in front of me. Get rid of some of my tape. I've been a bit messy today. It's not like me normally, is it? Not like me normally. And then I'm going to grab these beauties as well. So we've got a combination of characters which are going to tell our story, and then we've got a combination of flowers and tuck-ins and design and details and all little bits and bobs that we can start adding to and going for it. Now, most times I have kind of an idea in mind of where we're going, so I have my vignettes ready to play. But these kind of things evolve a kind of process over time. So it could be that we want our younger couple to the centre. Again, it could just be that. I mean, that would look really, really beautiful. You could always start framing them. So the younger couple being from the water's edge. They're off to the beach from water's edge. We could perhaps frame them with some of the palms, for example, from the fine finishes from the Perfectly Peaceful collection. Perhaps we want to put a bow on there as well. So many ways of using these. We could include the cotton. I love these. These are so pretty, from the same fine finishes Perfectly Peaceful. Look how you can build up this design. Similarly, instead of our younger couple, we could use our older couple there as well. Perhaps we want something a bit different in the background here. So maybe some of the palms. Because we're working with those mirrored vignettes, we can use the vignette cutouts in the 2 directions there. So you've got options on how you want to craft with these. You can really start building up your look and building your design. And they're going to be so lovely. Perhaps this reminds you of a couple in your life that you'd love to send an anniversary card to. That would be so, so special. But for my card, what I really wanted to use, I guess I just fell in love with the artwork when I saw it for the Valentine's designs, is our little lovebirds. So this is the lovebirds from the Gift of Giving collection. Look how pretty they are. I mean, really, you could add a bow to one corner and that would be a card in its own right. It would look so, so precious, wouldn't it? The little hearts on their tummies, the little darker bird, the lighter bird. I love them. I think they're so, so lovely. To give them a little bit more prominence on the front of my card, I've decided to use the mats and layers that come with the lovebirds themselves. I'm just going to flick back, see if I can find the die set for the lovebirds. There we go. So it's really worth noting, because I've seen a couple of questions on this come into group recently. When we talk about mats and layers, they're the same sorts of mats and layers we use for our frames and things like that. Within most of the dies, you have one full die set like so. So that's one solid mat and layer. And then the outermost mat and layer comes in 2 halves. Okay, it's really key to note this isn't broken. It is meant to be in 2 halves, and that will allow you to create over the edge cards. You could line it up and have aperture cards. You could of course line it up and have your mats and layers as well, but the reason they come in 2 halves is to give you more craftability. And for anyone wondering how we use that, how we create over the edge cards and things like that, we do have a YouTube tutorial on your split mat and layer dies as well. Okay, so I just wanted to quickly touch on that, knowing we've got that there with the lovebirds from Gift of Giving. So for mine, I've chosen to do two layers. So use the two split dies together to form one layer, and then the second layer cut as well. Again, same colour combination as what we've used in the background for our card itself. And again, using our foam just to lift our layers before we position. Get that in to position gently. And I'm struggling with that. Let me just take it off that and have a little less detailed background maybe. I'll be able to see that better. There we go. Just aligning that like so. And then taking away that foam tape. So the reason I'm using foam tape on my topper here, because that's essentially what we're going to be making, it gives us a little bit more prominence, it gives us a little bit more height to the centre of the card. I've also got foam tape on the back, but when we come to stick that, it's going to give me a little bit of a base into which we can start adding in detailing. Okay, so I can slot things underneath it easily. So I'm going to stick down my heart. So I'm using 2 strips of foam along each side, and then a little bit in the centre just to bolster that centre as well. And just aligning that on our heart. So you kind of got a heart within a heart, which I think is quite sweet. And again, look how when we introduce our birds, oh, I love it. I think it's so pretty. Again, that in its own right just speaks volumes. That would be a perfect card. I've already shaped out the tummies of these birds. You've already seen me shape the flowers, so I didn't feel that you needed to see it once again in the same demonstration, but same sort of thing, just using your ball tools and just adding in a little bit of shape wherever the cut line details kind of give you an idea. Pin flare glue gel just in those areas, and then adding in those little birds to their frame. I mean, that in its own right would be spectacular, wouldn't it? You really don't need to add any more than that. But I did promise you a sort of more extravagant demo for this one, so we're going to go ahead with that. Let me just grab some water, please excuse me. Oh, there we go. Carnation have added a little update there. They say, we're working on the coloured cardstock download, and IT will upload this out of hours for you. It will be a separate free download, so you won't have to re-download your collections again. It will be there available for you. So thank you, team, for sorting that one out. Okay, so first off, I'm going to add in this nice sort of sprig, this nice palm from the Perfectly Peaceful collection. I'm just placing that in, gently easing that up and under that little frame we've already got going. And I don't mind if it escapes over the edge. I think it's going to give detailing. I'm also going to give this a little bit of shape down one side. I'm not going to use it in its entirety. I'm going to trim it down and use just the top of it. But notice how I'm able to flip it from one side to the other. That's because we've got the colour on both sides, because we are using those mirrored vignettes. I'm just going to remove a few of the little cutaways in there, measure how far I want this to come up, and then we're going to snip away just neatly along the bottom like so. And wherever I snip, what I'm going to do is then go in and shape that little end just by rounding it off, just to give it a little bit more neatness. And again, that then hugs underneath the other side of the frame, just like so. Now on the sort of top-down view camera, it does look like it's kind of hiding all your filigree, but it's not, because it's nice open work design. You're still getting lots and lots of filigree behind as well. We're going to go in with a few of our other little shapes and things. Anything we're going to put down, we're going to have given shape to. These little palms, for example, great for then holding your pokey tool up the centre and then splaying the leaves out just ever so slightly. And that can go just behind our cotton buds. I will trim the stalks down. On the vignettes and things for the finishes. They're all long line stalks because you can really then adapt and use them in lots of different styles, but I will be trimming them down once I'm happy with the placement. So trim this down. I'm going to have these coming ever so slightly over the edge of our little birds as well. It just gives it sort of a nice nestled feel. And let's see what else we want. Again, we can have that coming over the edge. It's just ever so slightly. I think that works just fine. We might even introduce a few of the gypsophilia because I think that's going to work with this colour combination. But again, I'm going to snip that down. I am keen on using that bow as well. Maybe I'll use that on the inside of the card as part of the stopper. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think we'll do that. Having the options, allowing you to play in different ways because you've got those vignettes as downloads, so the coloured artworks as downloads, really means you're not limited. It's not like a paper pack where you have to then think, okay, what am I going to use first? What am I going to use? You know, I don't want to use up my precious paper pack. You've got options to go in and re-download this again and again, which is just so lovely. So the cotton, again, so lovely, so light, so fluffy, just works so beautifully to the forefront of the card. Again, I've already shaped the cotton, so just a few little bits of pin flare just in areas to give that our stick. Remember, we're coming over the edge of our little bird and then just nestling that down, okay, anchoring that down into areas just like so. What else do we want? What else do we want? I love this stage where we're looking at all the goodies that we have around us and thinking about how we might use these in our designs. Let's trim into a few of the little wax flowers here because I think these could feature beautifully around the design as well, just to give you a little bit more difference in texture. A little bit of fluff on there. Difference in texture, difference in detailing as well. I want a smaller bit. Isn't it funny how our minds work when we're looking at things and it's like, no, I want a smaller bit than that. Which bit? That bit will do. And having this sort of endless world of possibility where you can go in and just snip away sections of the vignettes as well just gives you so much more scope for your designs. I really think it's so, so pretty. So here, even though we've trimmed that down, we can have it just as a little embellishment to the front here, just adding in extra detailing. And really, it is up to you how you want to use these vignettes at the end of the day. They are yours to play with. Let's go in with a little bit more glue and our glue applicator. But it gives you so much option when it comes to crafting as well. What kind of cards are you going to be making? Who are you going to be making for, more importantly, for Valentine's Day as well? It would be really lovely to hear of who you'll be making for. I'm just going to trim that little edge off, just where we've got that little palm coming down, and hide that underneath. That little palm there. And I'm going to go in my glue applicator just on areas where it does need anchoring, just where things are just slipping out. We don't want them escaping off the front of our card, but just using that as detailing. I mentioned that gypsophilia. I will include that as well because I think that's very, very pretty. And again, just snipping into a few little areas for these. And it's just easy. It's just taking little elements and thinking, right, where can I use this? Where would it be good to include? And by adding in things like the wax flower and gypsophilia against the harder lines of the palms, it breaks that hard line up. It gives you more of a fluffy finish, for want of a better word, on areas whereby it just adds in a little bit of interest for your card designs. Again, overlap them on the birds. There's nothing saying you can't. Just add in detailing. Let's just trim down another section. Even the smallest little bits here I'm using, just tiny little bits. Think how far your die cuts are going to go if you're just snipping away and trimming away tiny little bits each time. How do I want that? I want that little poofy a little bit. So I'm just going to shake that with my thumb and forefinger. A little bit of glue. And let's tuck that there. Again, softening that whole row, if you like. Softening that whole row of the cotton and things. just one more little element just on this side here, but I've got to choose. I don't want anything too big. Let's have a look at this one. Have I got a little section yet? That little section there is crying out to be used. So again, just taking our scissors and trimming that down, just poking away any excess there. And then tucking this one in just to soften that edge of the flowers and everything like so. And I think, do you know what, I think that's going to be enough, because I think you don't want to detract from the birds, you just want to give it this lovely sprig. I kind of want something up here. Do I want more? You know, this is where we could go to town and add in lots and lots, isn't it? Let's just see, because I feel like this little section's missing just a bit. So maybe, yeah, maybe just continuing the green so it's not obvious, but it's just something there to fill a gap. This little green is from the Fine Finishes of the Perfectly Peaceful collection. Most of these little embellishments, most of these little tuck-ins and things are all from that particular die set, just because it's so expansive and there's so many different elements to it. And then I kind of want to, anything where I've popped something, I want to then repeat that in another section of our design. So I think I'm going to tuck those leaves in at the bottom there as well, just so you get coordination between the two areas. A little bit of glue just to the back. Denise says, could you please let us know what all the die collections are? Yeah, we went over, oh, there we go. It's like magic, isn't it? We go over that at the start of the show, but I was going to say we will pop up a list for you, and as I'm saying it, Carnation Crafts are doing it as well, so that's really great. So that gives you all of the details from the die sets and what collections they relate to as well. So that's going to be the front of our card. Remember, I will take photos of everything that we can then refer back to. Remember, I'm not worried about things coming over the edge, because once it's open, it gives you a little bit of detailing to the front. But we do need a stopper on the inside of our card. So I'm using the center heart from the heart frame itself. And we mentioned how I would love to include a bit of detailing and that beautiful bow, because I just love the colour of it. And it also alludes to this idea whereby you're taking colours from the front of your card and repeating them to the inside. So that little bow is going to be used. I just need to position my heart as my stopper, and to do that I'm going to grab a little bit of my foam tape and just lay that up. And just rising it up means when you come to use it as a stopper, there's enough edge on it to then basically hold that top mechanism of the card. So it's 1mm foam tape I use. It's not going to be quite enough to give us our height we would need as our stopper. So just going in and doubling up on the layer there to make it 2mm. I've got another little bit of foam next to me here. And you'll notice how whenever I make anything with double layers, I stick one layer down first, lay the next section over, and then trim down. That way I'm going to get it the right size each and every time for my card. So again, just checking positioning. You see how now we've lifted it up, that stopper then stays and catches the front of the card. And I'm just checking for placement of that bow. So I'm just going to nudge that little heart back a bit. Bow can go underneath like so. Once we're happy with the placement, kind of just memorize it, and then we can remove the carrier sheet of the foam tape like so. Make sure we've got that nice and central, and then to the bows. Okay, now these are from the Fine Finishes from the Perfectly Peaceful collection, obviously recoloured to match in with our spectacular Valentine's vignettes. I'm going to trim away just the little side sections because I just want the bow itself. My first layer is going to go underneath, but I am going to add shaping. I'm just looking for my foam mat, which has just escaped off my desk. And we're just going to give a little bit of a ball tool shaping to that. So just make those wonderful edges of the bow really puff out, really detailed, really glorious. And of course the center as well. Now this is just the first layer of the bow. I'm going to give it a double layer. When we come to then add, we're just going to turn those little sections back, and that's going to sit under the heart. But because it's so extravagant, because it's such a gorgeous design, I wanted to kind of make a really lovely celebration of this particular die cut. So we've cut it once, and that's going to stick flat. We're then going to cut it again and shape it again, okay, and that's going to act as a decoupage layer. Now we can go to town on our decoupage because obviously we're using our mirrored vignette, so you've got the same colour on the front as what you have on the back, and that just affords you a little bit more craftability. Even things like where you've got edges coming over the design, you know, it's not going to detract because there's going to be no white bits on your card. Giving that lovely bit of shaping again, just using our dense foam mat and of course our medium-sized ball tool there. Just really going to town on that centre. We want it nice and poofy. Gonna tweak back the bow itself, and I'm going to line that over the top, so you almost like get this kind of double layered effect to it. So we got the one layer underneath. This time around we're just going to have our pin flare to the centre point of our bow and layer that over the top like so to finish. So we've created two cards during today's demonstration, the first off being our more pared back design, the second being our sort of more grand easel card design as well. So the first one, I'll just bring that into shot for you as well. But it gives you different options. Look how different they are. I just love it. The Valentine's vignettes are gorgeous. As we've mentioned, they aren't just for Valentine's. These are going to last you all year for all manner of occasions as well. I will take photographs of both these cards and share them in group. But let me just show you from the front. Let's go with the first one first because that makes more sense chronologically. Nice, simple, all the emphasis on that beautiful rose from the MIDI arrangement florals, like so. A little bit of gypsophilia in the background, but just pared back, very stylish, clean and simple card design to something a little bit more extravagant in your heart easel featuring your lovebirds as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed that demonstration, giving you a few ideas on how to use the Valentine's vignettes. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to get up to with them, and I look forward to seeing your posts within the Facebook group Carnation Crafters as well. Don't forget to upload them because it's always nice to share a bit of inspiration, isn't it? Thank you all for joining me this afternoon. We will be back on Sunday with the web launch of Just Passing By, eagerly anticipated web launch, I should say. And we will be having, again, another double demonstration. That's a bit of a mouthful, I'm struggling today. Demonstration on a couple of requested things. So the strata card in a number of different ways. So 2 ways of using the strata card. We have uploaded a how-to video for the strata card. A couple of people have asked for how we add layers and things like that. So we'll go over that on Sunday for you guys. And then we'll be making like an invite card with the strata card as well. Don't forget, if you are interested in getting your Valentine special edition of vignettes, today's the day to do it. They are on a bundle offer for today's deal of the deal on our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk. So it's the best way to save a little bit of money off the price, the bundle price being £5, but that is for today only, okay? After that, the vignettes will go back up to full price. Thank you everyone for joining me this afternoon. Stay safe, and I shall see you on Sunday with another Facebook show. See you later everyone. Bye bye.